Okay, so first place. I'm not going to drag it out any longer. First place goes to the gardener.
Wow. Looks nice, huh?
Yeah, it's
So I'm going to tell you what I loved about your movie. I'm going to tell you what I loved. The camera movement.
Oh, man.
The camera movement was amazing.
So good.
Story for you.
Yeah, so so it was supposed to be a oneer,
Yeah.
right? The whole idea was we were going to do it as just one take through the whole house.
It out. We spent hours the night before just like walking through the house and getting the camera movement, and then the day of, first of all, as we're doing it, Matt actually had the brilliant idea that he was just like, why don't we just shoot her shoveling and we'll cut in, because we were doing it and I was like, this is so long. This walk through the house is
It's so slow.
and we were worried that the script was going to drag. And then on top of that, then the Steadicam went down. My Steadicam broke like halfway through because of course it did. It's a 72-hour film fest. And so all of a sudden I was like, well, it's handheld then, so we just kind of walked through the house slowly and shot it as best we could and did as many takes we could that way. But that's kind of what I liked the most about it. That last shot is one of the last shots there. You start wide on her digging, and then we move in close up to all that whole thing is just one long take, and that was that's the one that I think remained the way we had envisioned it. That final shot's the one that remained sort of the way it was supposed to end, but it was supposed to all be one long shot, walk through the house, and yeah, but it worked out really well. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that these guys could tell you.
Yeah, dressing the set was really, really fun. Yeah, so. Oh,
It had to have taken you almost as long to dig the hole as, yeah.
it was pretty fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I've seen you before. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so where'd you come up with the idea?
So, well, we talked together, so we're a team. So the idea was, so last year we had a script, and this year we wanted to just see what happened. So we waited until Thursday when we got the prop and we got the line, and then we went back and we all just got together and we're like, okay, so let's build a story around the prop and around the line. And so we just came up with, I was like, well, and my daughter's name is Rosemary, so when I heard Rose, it made me think of a person. And so we're like, okay, what if the rose represents a person? And, all of those things. And then, and somehow we got to,
Well, our resident poet here, right?
Yes.
The more we started talking
Yes.
about the idea, she just jumps in and she's just like,
remember this?
Tennyson poem.
Yes.
And it's sort of talking about the same thing as Juliet. So then that became this other inspiration for it. And so that was just fantastic. But yeah, we wrote it Thursday night. We got together at 6 o'clock. We had a script together by like 9 o'clock, and then got the next day and shot all day, and then edited Monday or Sunday morning. And crazy.
Yeah, you can have it back.
Thank you very much. It's mine. I loved roses in all the photographs and all that.
Matt did all that.
So,
Photoshop.
yeah, so you pulled the pictures out, made a new picture and put it in? Is that what you did? I mean, it was like, it was just like, it was so cool, and I'm going, that's very clever. The other thing I liked, it kind of almost had a black and white feel to it. I liked the color or lack of.
And then we bring it in at the end. That was something that was, it's slow and subtle, but as she smells the rose, the saturation comes back in. It's like she's getting life again. It was kind of a creative choice on that way too. So cool, I'm glad you guys noticed that. We were worried that your eyes tend to kind of, oh, okay, that's red, and that's that, and you translate what it is, and you get used to it, so we're kind of worried. But no, that's cool. I'm glad you guys noticed the desaturation. Yeah.
The car was so pretty, we were glad to show it in its full pretty color.
No, it was really beautifully done. I mean, again, I can't tell you how much I loved the movement of the camera. Just and the way the music set it off. It's real. Questions? Anybody? Yeah. Besides you? I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Well, I was using I have a Steadicam, the whole rig, the best arm, whole thing, and yeah, just for whatever reason, I don't know I'm not good with, I don't know what the part of it is, but the plate that holds the camera, for whatever reason, got loose, and so if I try to do a tilt, which we wanted to do to the floor to see the ties and all that stuff, then the camera would just go, just slide all around, And so we just took it off and it just became handheld, and just did it, you know, kind of just holding it as loose and gentle as I can. It's a Blackmagic Ursa Mini, the same that last team shot with. Yeah.
Other questions? Do you guys like the camera movement? Am I alone? Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Oh, so Matt has this really awesome friend named Katie, and it's Katie's car. I wish Katie had been here. Yeah, so she's really into cars, and Matt, you can talk about it.
Well, yeah, basically we were talking about our story and everything, what we're going to do, and we said something like, well, what if we have an old car? So I was like, all right, let me text my friend, who then texted Katie and had her call me, and I said, can we use your car on Saturday? We're going to shoot a film. She's like, yeah, I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm there. So we're real thankful that she came out for that.
You know, the first thing I thought of the movie was, wow, what a cool car.
Right.
You know, wonder what they're going to do with that. Putting things in the trunk. Other questions? Go ahead.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, it was just good timing because it was really rainy when we started that morning, and at first we thought, well, this will play really well for the gloomy kind of aspect. Then the sun came up, and we were just like, shit. Because we were like, now what are we going to do about the lighting? Because I was panicking. Again, it was a winter, so trying to figure out how to match that light and intensity inside, walking in and outside. But it actually, because we ended up not cutting it that way, worked really well for the end with that. Yeah, it was just kind of lucky. We got lucky with it, yeah.
Do you know what I also liked best? Like, the others were kind of planned in advance. You guys didn't. You know, it was like, hey, what can we do really in 72 hours? No offense to the other people, but that's really cool. Other questions? Way in the back.
Yes. Cool. Yes, that's epic. Yeah, we wanted, because the idea was, once we started thinking about it, we thought we went on the flower, and then we were like, oh, what if it's, you know, in a cemetery? We got to the grave idea. You know, it's weird where brainstorming takes you. You just go all over the place. And then we started thinking about it being set back, you know, a little bit older. So luckily, Emily has amazing old stuff at her house, like just so many great classic kinds of things. And so, yeah, getting a car and just having it have that feel about, you know, women empowerment during that time. But it plays perfectly well today, so that was, yeah, it was great. I love that. Thelma and Louise, perfect. Yeah.
So how deep was your hole? How far? Maybe 3.5 feet. 3.5 feet? How? Yeah, just a couple minutes to dig it, yeah.
I have footage of them digging.
So I was looking at the depth of that hole, I'm going, it took them 72 hours to dig the hole, you know. Other questions? Go ahead.
Yeah. So the first time we collaborated was last year at the 72-Hour Film Fest, and then and we've been making films. We've been working on another script in the meantime, and we have lots more planned. So yeah, we're a team.
Yeah, us, and there's even some people who are in other teams who submitted and worked in different 72-hour film fest, but we've got a little other group that we met last year, and so yeah, we've just started making films ever since.
I got a suggestion. You need to take this to other film festivals. I mean, honest to God, that is a really good piece of work. Would you agree? Yeah. That was a really, really, really good piece of work.
Thank you.
Other questions? In the back. No, I will not marry you.
That's my husband, so
Oh. Is the answer yes or no?
I guess.
Maybe. We'll negotiate later.
Awesome. It's a tomato, but yes, absolutely. But yeah, it was fun to, we had it, it's a private link on YouTube because it has to stay private. And so we're, sharing it with some family members and that kind of thing. And so it was cool to hear people say like, oh, I thought she must have killed him. And we're like, yes, they fell for it, and then have it flip and be something else.
Yeah,
so.
and I just want to give props to these guys for what they did with the set design because that was so specific. When we wrote the script the night before, what we had was the script that we'd all come together on. But when we came the next day or came that night, they had dressed this house according to every line. Like when he says pressed, we're gonna have on an ironing board. And then we say like, what have I become? We'll see a knife stick. Like everything was there based on how we were gonna move through the house and so that it would time with what they were saying. So I just, big ups to you guys, honestly, the work they did on the set design was awesome.
And by the way, did I mention that you should send this to other film festivals? It's really a great piece of work. Really a great piece of work. Other questions? Okay, Brian, what did the judges, besides what Randy just said, what did you guys like about this?
Well, I don't think we can say anything that hasn't already been said, but definitely the cinematography was just top notch. Erin's really good behind the camera. Amy Lynn, she's a great actor. And so in the lighting, at first we're like, because there are times when the coloring is like the last thing you do. You edit, you get your sound and everything, you might do a little coloring, but usually color is the last thing you do on something like this because you can show a film without, great color. And so at first we're like, well, this is really dry. It's kind of dead for color. And then when you see, not only does it just drag you in with all of the information we're getting, and the music was really awesome too. It just really pulled you in. And then you see that color just start coming up and like, oh, that's awesome. And the light that you picked up, the cinematography it was the best in the competition without a doubt. And once color came up, the color was awesome and the car was awesome. I'm kind of curious, so was the exhaust foley, was that from that car?
Yeah, we did all that stuff as we were filming.
And the
I have a
shovel.
little Zoom H4 recorder.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
By the tire. Yeah, and even the iron, we took iron, steaming, just sat there and recorded.
Yeah.
I love the steam coming out of the iron. I mean, it was just like,
Yeah. Yeah, and it was funny because it was the first film we watched, and we're like, whoa. And we're like, hold on, we got a lot more to watch. Don't anybody do anything. Don't judge it too quickly. And it ended up being the best one. And, it's really amazing what you can do. It was like 4 to 5 minutes. How long was it? Do you remember? 4.5. 4.5. So, people are like, they want to make a film and say, well, I don't have good sound equipment. I don't have this, that. But it was narrated, the whole thing, and it was still beautiful,
did I mention that you should take this to other festivals? I mean, it really is. Wouldn't you agree it's that good?
It's really good, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Film Freeway, go.
No, I'm sorry. Your time's up. No, really, your time's up.
No, I just want to say, like, everybody, like, you see the talent that we have in the Tri-Cities. Like, there's so much talent.
So good.
And you talk about, like, the length of the film, right? So we were talking about this the night we filmed, and we're like, man, if we can do 5 minutes in 3 days, like, think of all of us, like, what we could do working together on these things. Like, competition's awesome. It does bring out the best in people, great. But we work together on stuff. I mean, how many days would it take us to put together a feature film or something
Absolutely.
as a city
Yeah.
if we wanted to team together?
Exactly.
That's just a pitch to everyone
Just
if we all
throwing
want
it
to
out
form a
there.
team. Because there's a lot of great talent. I'm just, you know what I'm saying.
Let's talk after.
Let's talk, yeah.
Okay, but here's the problem with that. Actors and filmmakers don't have any money.
Right, but that's my point. It's the same as the 72 hour, right? What we were able to pull together in just the 3 days. Like if we took some time and everybody, with all the resources that we all were able to pull individually, for everyone what you did for your films, like the design with the sets and stuff that we were able to come
zombie
up with,
makeup,
the
like,
zombie
oh my
makeup
God.
that we were able to come up with. I mean, there's a lot of really awesome talent in the Tri-Cities. I was really, really impressed with every film they showed.
So
this year.
good.
Yeah.
I'm a fairly well-off film critic. I have $1, I think, somewhere I can contribute. Just kidding. Yeah. I'm not a well-off. I mean, you talk about not making money. There we go, yeah. It's a labor of love, trust me. Anyway, yeah.